Hey there, Soul Tribe. It is Intuitive Energy Guide, Clairvoyant and Source Energy Channel. Kathy Weiss here. Welcome to your weekly energy reading for the week of October 7th through the 13th, 2019. I am coming to you live from Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, at my beautiful Airbnb that you can't really quite see because I was like fussing for some decent light here this morning. So it is Monday, October 7th at 8 o'clock in the morning here in Australia, which makes it 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon at my home base over there in California. So depending on where you are in the world, this video may seem like it's a day early or right on time. It's just so incredible the way that technology allows us to connect and have this worldwide soul tribe. And it's kind of a treat for me to be able to be doing this video on Monday here in Australia. So all of our Australian friends get their weekly energy reading really like right on time. So thanks for being patient and accommodating with the schedule being a little bit different this week and next week. And then the following week, October 21st, we'll go back to everything being right on schedule. And I just have so many wonderful stories that I'm looking forward to sharing with you in the coming weeks. So if you don't get my newsletter yet and you want to hear some of these extra like bonus tidbits and little bits of insight and wisdom that I want to share with you, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter over on my website, Kathy-Weiss.com. Right there on the homepage, you're going to see where you can sign up and get a free mini intuitive reading as a little bit of an extra bonus. So let's dive into some really cool things that we've got going on for the week of October 7th. And keep in mind, if you're watching this at any point, even if it's not the week of October 7th, 2019, there is some juicy wisdom in here that you need to hear. So make sure that you stick with the whole video. So as we dive in today, guys, I wanted to share a couple of things with you. This is just a beautiful stone, rock, something that I picked up on the beach yesterday. Oh, I'm hearing some of you are like, where the heck is Newcastle, Australia? About 2 hours-ish north of Sydney on the eastern coast, right by the beach. Super beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I just felt really drawn to pick this up. It's really smooth. This beach we were at, it's called Dudley Beach, had just the most amazing seashells, which I love to collect, and stones that were like really smooth. Like if you were to rub this, it's just like there's no rough edges at all. And I'm bringing that in to have the energy of Australia and the ocean. And like, you know how when you go to the beach and you're around all of that negative ionization, which is actually really good for you. I just really wanted to bring some of that in. So I've got this here, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to see when I place it down because the fabulous Mr. Weiss hooked me up this like very fancy water jug situation to pop my phone on. So the crystals are going to be a little bit low today. Next, this is something new that I purchased while I was here. This is called Apache Tear. And it was so interesting because when I grabbed this one, it was like, this isn't for me, but I knew that I needed to have it. And so this is for some of you, probably not even all of you. And I'm hearing this may not even eventually like stay with me. This might move on to somebody else's home. But this one is about comforting grief. So if you're experiencing any sort of grief right now, and it doesn't just have to be like the loss of a human loved one or a pet loved one, there's lots of ways that grief comes in and out of our lives. This energy is here to support you. And if you're feeling really drawn or compelled or curious about that, let me know. Because again, like I said, I think this one's going to leave me and move on at some point. And then this is one other goodie I have to share with you before we get into the energy reading. This is green garnet, and I just, so pretty. And green garnet, I felt really drawn and compelled to because this one, I'm just making sure by peeking at my notes, this one is about healing limitations to wealth. And that can be financial wealth, as in, straight up money situations. And it does help those of us who have really struggled with money to like overcome those struggles and really rise up into a place of financial wealth, but also emotional and spiritual wealth. So if you've been feeling like that sensation like something's missing in your life and you can't quite figure out what that feeling is that you're missing, green garnet is going to be a really great stone to support you in fulfilling or filling that void with emotional and spiritual wealth, which can then lead you in the direction of financial wealth. It's like sometimes we have to work almost what seems like backwards and start to fill that hole or that void with the richness of life and with the richness of the spiritual realm, which is a little bit mysterious and sometimes scary as we start to seek it out. And so green garnet is going to be really supportive of you. So you might choose to get yourself some. I like the little crystals because you can hold them, put them in your pocket, put it by your bedside. I know some people put them in their car, wherever you want to have that. You can also get, jewelry, all kinds of ways to support yourself. But I'm feeling really strongly like those two, the Apache tear and the green garnet, are for some of you watching today. So let's talk about the energy for the week of October 7th through the 13th, 2019. What's interesting is a couple of days ago, I started hearing the word smooth. And the first thing I thought, because that was the only thing coming, was the word smooth. And so I was like, smooth, like dancing through the week, like really easy, just kind of like gliding. But yeah, even as I was thinking that, it didn't feel right. It didn't get like a click in, is the best way I can describe it, where I was like, yeah, that's what the energy is and what the guides are trying to encourage us to be this week. So I'm a little bit like confused on my days. Like I'm traveling and life is a little bit like not on regular routine. So a couple of days ago, I sat down to meditate and I had this really visceral understanding that the smooth word is energetic. And that what we're being invited to do this week is become energetically smooth, both externally and internally, like just like smooth, maybe, I love it when things start to come together. Smooth like this stone, like nothing can stick to this stone because its surface is completely smooth. And so when we become energetically smooth, things can't stick to us. And this is more, I'm going to peek at my notes. I wrote about a page and a half of notes and I want to make sure we're on track. So this is not our messages book because it's a little bit bulky to travel with. So I've got a little smaller travel journal. So what it says about the smooth energy is so that barbs and hooks fall away, right? This is an energetic thing. So negative energy or toxic energy or things that no longer serve us, the reason they stay is that energetically the best, like Velcro, like little hooks that stick, or like little barbs. You know how like a barb has that little pointy part, so it slides in smooth, but then when you try to pull it out, it sticks, right? So that is a visual understanding of how negative or toxic energy or emotional wounds stay with us. So we're being invited to be really energetically smooth, internal, external. Those barbs can no longer stick, those hooks can no longer stick, and like this stone, they're just gonna like slide right off. So this is a big week about shedding and releasing negative and toxic energy, shameful energy, emotional wounds that no longer serve you, that no longer offer you emotional or energetic protection. So here's what it says. You must do this energetic work in a way that makes sense for you. So you can visualize that happening. You could paint or draw or write some sort of representation of your energy smooth and all those barbs and hooks and things just sliding right off of you. So it says, those of you that are unpracticed in subtle energy work, which is fine. I mean, we were all new to it at some point. So if you're unpracticed, you may feel physical side effects, and that's like really super common. So like you might feel some digestive illness, or ladies, your menstrual cycle might get a little wonky or heavy or something like that. Don't freak out about that, because that's a sign that the energetic work is doing its thing. Okay, so if you're new and that's happening, we're actually going to give you 2 thumbs up that you're doing the right thing. Some of you may need some assistance from a shaman or a Reiki healer, or an intuitive guide like myself, to walk you through this process. If you're like super brand new and you have no idea or clue how to change your energy and do that, ask for help. That's why we have healers in the world, is so that when for whatever reason we need help, we can reach out to them. So those of you that are practiced in self-care of energy healing, you'll do this really smoothly and no after effect. So this, guys, is important. This is towards the end of the cycle of change. So for those of you who are newer to following along with us, or those of you who maybe weren't really thinking about it or forgot, we've been in a big cycle of change that started in June of 2019, and it's moving through the end of November. So I guess we're about 6-7 weeks away from the end of this cycle of change. And this energetic smoothness that you're being asked to cultivate is a part of this cycle of change, and it's necessary. You have to do this energetic work before we get to the end of the cycle of change. And it says that. It says do this energetic work before. So you've got about 6 weeks. Take the time to get this done, Soul Tribe. For real, there is an urgency around this, but it doesn't have to happen this week, right? You've got some time, and you're really being invited to set some time aside to do this. Depending, again, on your experience level, it could be as quick as 5-10 minutes. Somebody newer, you might need to be a little more deliberate, or if you're going to create some piece of work or art or writing around it, how long your process is. Or if you're going to see a healer, I'm going to guess that would take around an hour. So get out your calendars after this video is over and schedule this in like you would a doctor appointment. Energetic care and healing is as valuable and as necessary as seeing a traditional Western medical type doctor. It matters much for what comes next. I'm so excited about that. Oh my God, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for what's coming after this cycle of change. Okay, it says we await further transmission on this topic. So even our guides right now aren't giving me any more, because it's super important that we stay focused on the present moment and the present the present energy that being guided, right? So when we follow the guidance, that makes space for the next guidance to come in. And if we were given everything all at once, we'd spaz out. We wouldn't know what to do. So there's always going to be new guidance, right? It isn't oh, there's the message, done, bye, moving on. It's here's this message, so that then we can do the next thing when it's time. So we're sticking with what we've got going on right now. Okay, it says you must be done to move on. And you know what I'm hearing? This is kind of additional to this. Some of us aren't going to move on to the next thing or the next site, whatever the next thing is. I don't know what it is. And that's okay. A lot of us are going to move on, but some of us aren't. And so we're let's not freak out about that, because that just means that those of us that are not moving on have other karmic lessons or soul lessons or soul experiences that need to be learned in this phase that we're all in, as opposed to the next phase. It's different. We're just different classrooms. We're going to I don't know, high school or college or something, right? Where different people are going to different classrooms. That's all. So don't worry about that. But if you're going to move on, you need to do this. And you can use this powerful tool as a declaration to, as a tool. Sorry, sometimes my writing is super messy because I go fast. So you can use this declaration as a tool to assist you in the process. I used this myself a couple days ago when I had that realization, and I'm offering it to you because it's super powerful and it really works. Here's what it says. I... declare your name. Hereby delete, destroy, and uncreate There's a blank. That's for the negative energy, the old way of being, that which doesn't serve you. Fill that in. What are you uncreating? Through all time, space, realities, and dimensions. So you're completely erasing and eradicating. Smooth. It's dropping off for all reality. It has served and protected me. Like, let's not forget that energy was there to serve and protect you in some way. So it has served and protected me. And for this, I am grateful. I no longer need this energy and I willingly release it. So be it. Amen. Feel free to adjust that in a way that makes sense to you, but it's a really powerful tool for clearing out and smoothing out your energetic field. This is really weird and a little bit different. The end of the message, it says end message, transmission number 1,765,830, completed and delivered. Next phase cycle to begin soon. Cycle completion imminent. By our hand it is written, go in peace. We love you. Amen. Whoa. Crazy town sometimes, you guys. I love everything that's happening. If you have questions or comments, drop them down there. We're going to wrap up with an oracle card. I feel like there's like a really super juicy message video situation we've got going on. But I picked up also a new deck of oracle cards here in Australia called the Flowers of the Night. I've never seen this deck. And it was interesting because it was right next to one called Dia de los Muertos. And both of the decks had this beautiful black background with then the images and the writing on top. And it felt so different to me. You know, so many oracle card decks are focused on the light and spirituality and all of those things that are very, very beautiful. And these two decks, to me, we're like, let's focus on the dark, on nighttime, on the beauty that there is in darkness. And I think so many of us are like running away from the nighttime of our soul. We're running away from the things that we perceive to be dark or negative about ourselves, forgetting how much they serve us, right? So we all have those negative energies and barbs and things that are stuck within our energy, but they're good too, right? They've served and protected and guided us towards a fuller, more exciting and satisfying expression of ourselves. So it's like really important to embrace the beauty of the messages and the beauty of things that lie in the dark and in the mystery. And I have some really cool stories I want to share with you in the coming weeks, of ahas and things that I uncover when I step out of my daily routine and travel for a little bit. And there's a lot of, there's today's card. There's a lot of wisdom that comes from that. But let's wrap up with transformation. And this card is Angel's Trumpet. So there is the flower called Angel's Trumpet, and there's a bat here, right? So, bats are also animals that are more active at nighttime in the dark, and they're really cool. Guys, I went to this park, this total side note, went to this nature reserve where there are 15,000 flying foxes, which are a type of bat. So loud, so crazy. Oh my gosh, if you're curious, let me know and I'll see if I can pull up the video or send it to you or something. Right, but so this flower opens up at night so that the bat can drink and nourish itself. So I'm going to peek into the guidebook for this one because it is a new deck and I want to make sure we understand the author's intention. But with transformation, it has so much to do with what we're talking about. When we release things, when it's time to release things, and we value that they have served us and that we're ready to move on and expand from them, we go through a transformation and the outcome is uncertain. But that's okay and exciting. I'm so curious for all of us, like, how are we all going to transform as this cycle completes? here's what the guidebook says. And it's so perfect and spot on for what we've got happening. A change and perhaps even a new beginning is approaching, and it would be wise to ensure that you are armed with the truth before it is upon you. Your truth is what lies behind that negative or toxic protective energy. So as you release it, you're going to find what's true for you. And the only person it's true for is you. I've been calling this your soul print lately, right? Like we all have a unique thumbprint or fingerprints. We all have a unique soul print. So what's true for you is different than what's true for me or for anybody else. And so revealing and uncovering that is sometimes a little bit uncomfortable because it's so different from everybody. And it's almost like there is no one that can role model for you what truth is. Make sense? I'm getting a little background noise from the airplane. The joy of live, right? One more sentence. What is it that you need to let go of at this time? Does that all just like beautifully tie together that I don't even want to read anymore out of that guidebook? So much good stuff. I missed you last Monday and I feel like I just want to hang out and talk with you and like for hours, but we're gonna start to wrap up, and I just want to throw down a couple of quick reminders. Next week we're gonna have this same slightly off schedule day and time for your weekly energy reading, and then on October 21st 2019 we'll go back to Pacific time as being the regular day and time for your weekly energy charge up, your weekly energy reading, your newsletter, all of those good things. And I'm being asked to remind some of you the first week of November, the first full week of November, I am presenting it during the virtual Global Channeling Summit, which is an online summit to help demystify what channeling is and to help people who are curious about channeling start to understand it and get more comfortable with what that really is. And if you're interested and you want to make sure you don't miss that, make sure you're either on my newsletter list or reach out so that I can put you on my newsletter list. And then 2 weeks after that, guys, another one I'm super excited about. I'm also a presenter for the Evolve Summit for Women. And this is a super rich, robust online summit that is also really geared towards women evolving, transforming, becoming those more elegant and robust and filled out versions of themselves with the support of all of these incredible guest speakers and leaders and teachers. Is oh my gosh, I'm excited to sit down and learn from all of the other presenters. And so again, if you want to make sure that you catch that summit, email me, get on my newsletter list, whatever we need to do to make that happen. This message, today's messages are complete. There will be more as we get to the end of this cycle. So excited, guys. It's like ridiculous how excited I am. And I do have more stories and experiences to share with you. Those will be coming in my newsletter and in some of these live videos. So make sure you stay connected. And if it really resonates with you, please share with a friend who you know could use this type of love, support, and encouragement. I will see you again next week, live from Australia. You guys have a beautiful week. Thank you so much for your love and your support and your encouragement. You're the best. I love you. Namaste. Bye, guys.